So you want to make Wingfeather themed food for your party. Well, let me tell you about it. Welcome to Celebration State, where we help Christian creatives to grow in their creativity and in their love for God as well. So you want to make some awesome Wingfeather themed food, and you came to this video because you've been waiting for me to put this video out. I know, it's been a while since I put the other videos out, and I'm sorry. So we're just doing this. It's like informal, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna give you all the details, but I know what it's like watching cooking videos on YouTube. You're like, okay, get to the point, tell me how to do it. You can find all the recipes in the description. I'm gonna list out what the actual ingredients are. I'm gonna give a link to where I found them because none of these recipes are my idea except for like some silly stuff at the end I'm gonna tell you about. But what this video is about is not the step-by-step process. The video is about, here are some pitfalls you can avoid when you're using these recipes. So I hope it's helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions that you want me to answer in the comments, but let's get into this. The first thing we're gonna talk about is blueberry gooey balls. Now, with the recipe that I used, and I doubled, tripled, quadrupled it with this mini muffin tin, let me give you a word of advice. Do not start this at 9 o'clock at night. Just don't do it. And if you could have more than one mini muffin tin at your disposal, you're gonna want that. Don't skimp on the mini muffin tin because this is gonna take forever if you just have one little muffin tin, which is what it was like for me. This was an amazing and special dish, and it really was pretty simple to make. It just took forever because I only had one mini muffin pan. So if you just want to have one, if you're trying to save money, then just set aside some time, some afternoon where you have, or some early morning where you're just going to bake them for a few hours if you're making enough for like a big party. If you're only making a small batch, then great. But yeah, you just top those with jelly when they come out. You might want to warm the jelly up, but it's up to you, and it's great. It's yummy. The next thing that we made was my favorite, and it was the cheesy chowder. Now, we just used this recipe that we found online, and it was great. It's like potato soup that's really creamy and cheesy, and it's got some vegetables in there, and it was wonderful. So just follow that recipe. The only thing I want to warn you guys about is be careful with that white sauce. Be careful when you're cooking dairy. You want to keep on stirring it and just really watch the pot because you don't want it to burn. The next thing I wanted to make were the honey muffins. Now, something to look out for with this recipe is that the one that they have on like the Wingfeather website is really expensive if you're using really good quality honey. If you're comfortable with using really low quality honey and you don't mind, then this could be a great recipe for you. But if you have just fancy honey, then this is gonna be a super expensive muffin to make. And I was not okay with that. So I just made these Mexican sweet muffins instead, and they worked out great. I will say they weren't like a super big hit, but it totally stood in for, hey, these are honey muffins. You could also probably drizzle honey on top because they really kind of just tasted like cornbread. So that's something that would have probably made them tastier, is if I topped them with honey, or I let people top them with honey. That would have tasted great. The other two recommendations I have for you to make this just fun is the idea of potatoes. In my mind, I was imagining, okay, a mixture between tomatoes and potatoes. What would that be like? Maybe a sweet potato, but that's gross in the sense of for kids, like for a kid's party, because that's what I was making it for. So I was like, what if potatoes tasted like watermelon? And so this was just me going off on my own imaginative thing. And so what I did is I chopped up some watermelon and I put a sign in front of it that said potatoes. Now, this would be even more fun if you had a melon baller and you could get those like really cute little circles of watermelon. That would be excellent, and that would really drive it home. I feel like, I don't know why I feel like that makes it more of a potato, but yeah, potatoes equal watermelon. That just was an easy thing to put out for the party. The other thing that we did to make things fun is we put a sign that said Bibes in front of our juices, and Bibes is the name that they give to the different kinds of drinks that they have in the Green Hollows, and so I just thought that would make it kind of fun. But again, it's just regular juice. You could make this all kinds of fun if you made like a fun punch that was a cool color, and you could give it a fun name, but this is what we did. And I can't say enough how much having little signs in front of your food is going to help you to get the point across of what this is, what it's supposed to be, and it can jog people's memories of like, oh yeah, I remember that's from book 1. and then it makes eating it all that more fun because they know what it's from. Another really notable food item that you could choose to make are the plum yums, which were from the Dragon Day Festival. I chose not to make these because we actually tasted something that was supposed to be a plum yum when we went to the Wingfeather world premiere in Nashville, and I wasn't crazy about the plum yums. And so I was just assuming that that recipe was what was on the Wingfeather website, and so I just decided to forego those. But if you're a super big fan of plum yums, then go for it. I hope that this video was a blessing to y'all and gives you a place to spring off from to make your own food for your Wingfeather party. If you have questions, please let me know in the comments. If you want to be notified when we have a new Wingfeather party video coming out, please subscribe to this channel so that you will get notified. We still have at least one more video trying to explain to y'all the games that we made, and some of them have just a multiple step process, so it might be more than one video. I don't know. We'll see when we get to it. Thanks so much for watching. Be so blessed.